These Christmas ones. This Christmas one. Man alive.
This one's been like, yeah, look at this. Like,
Yeah, lush. Just so finely detailed, but in a way that isn't distracting, you know?
yeah.
You're
Yeah,
taking it
like this
all
is
in.
paradise or whatever,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, it's great.
But yeah, I love this shape of Santa Claus. And like, look at the reindeer here. Like, he's drawing all the reindeer, they're all posed differently. Like there's this kind of like joke that is true in comics that like artists hate drawing horses or whatever.
Yeah.
McCay's writing this for himself. He can draw anything he wants. And you see all throughout this, he's always choosing the most difficult, most complicated things to draw. And I mean, it's just amazing. So I just wanted to comment quickly, like just the fun imagery of the princess showing up in the mouth of a dragon and it like freaking him out to wake up and then falling down stairs. And that's another thing is just like stairs are not the most ideal thing to draw, but again, he's just drawing anything and everything, and it's all just so creative. So again, yes, look at all the different angles he's drawing these reindeer.
Exactly that, but it's something that, so I noticed this about his stuff now, even seeing the stuff he produced before Little Nemo, is his storytelling technique is like this side scroll video game quality where it's basically starting from A to B, just going across the page every row. And I mean, he does turn angles here and there, but like a figure or something will still be at a sideways shot where you develop a familiarity with it, where you're able to follow with your eye across again from left to right, left to right, left to right, all the way down the page, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. And this is a really good example of it where it starts him in the bed and then him ending in the bed and he just moves constantly left to right.
Well,
Yeah.
even like, okay, if you could take the second page, the bottom row of the second page, even the two middle panels, that figure moving from the left, turning his entire body to the right, boom, boom, right? Like that's still like this kind of side scroll, moving back and forward kind of mentalities. The page is meant to go from left to right, and he's facing to the left, but he turns to the right, and the page finishes again with Nemo waking up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of that comes down to like when you're drawing motion, you want to follow the eye path. The eye is moving left to right, but also in a zigzag. And so right here, if you want the movement to have more power, you just have the character moving in a leftward direction. Uh, but yeah, I did want to comment that like going back to that how much work he's putting into this and how much like he's imposing this amount of work on himself. I also yeah, I just wanted to comment that like there's a letter that survived from back then from just before Little Nemo in which he asked for a raise. So he was getting $60 a week and he was asking, "Hey, can I get $75 a week?" Which he was given without any argument, but his explanation was that each week he produced one page of Little Sammy Sneeze, one page of the story of Hungry Henrietta, and usually at least 2 pages of Rarebit Fiend, and like an illustration for that serial novel about the future, as well as like all other random individual illustrations here and there, all in a week's work.
That's insane.
Compared to like what are the famous scripts we know of from like the 30s and 40s? All those were just one artist working over the course of a week. Like Prince Valiant took a week to create all that stuff, and Winsor McCay was doing all of this stuff in one day. And on top of that, like look at how difficult this stuff is. He's not like he's like cutting corners or anything. So yeah, he was just an exceptional artist.
Fully drawn every panel.
I just did a quick Google. $60 in 1905 is the equivalent of $2,152.
Yeah, I think the average like regular worker was making like $9 a week. So he got very wealthy because
And $75 is almost 27,000, 2,700. Yeah.
when he's
All
Yeah.
those top
So
hats and tuxedos and shit.
By 1908, he was making $175 a week. So,
I gotta find out.
and then by 1911, Hearst pulls him over to his paper by paying him more. So he was a very wealthy man.
This guy is, and on a weekly basis, yeah, this guy is okay. Now I see what you mean by he actually made money at this, because he's getting money thrown at him.
A side note, though, what do you guys think of like what that said about commercial artists back in the day, like how they were treated in terms of how they were compensated before they started not being compensated so much, into the 60s and so on? Like, were they not upper class, but a little bit, better appreciated, like actors and whatnot, in terms of celebrity status?
I do think so, because I remember reading about Jack Kirby and a lot of the guys from the Gold and Silver Age comics. A newspaper strip was the goal. Like that was what they wanted to land. It was only really Kirby and Simon who were like, "No, this is the medium that we should be working in." But everybody else was thinking, "Oh boy, if I just got a sweet newspaper gig, that would be great."
Yeah, because like at least you had like some sort of ownership over the syndicated strips, whereas like comic books were like, they were sweatshops.
Yeah.
And also oftentimes it wasn't stuff that you created. It was just a gig working on somebody else's creation. But yeah.
But yeah, the expectation that the public seem to have for artists as well seem to be a lot higher, right? Like this is immaculately produced.
Yeah.
And I don't think you would have gotten away with the quality of like a Fox Comics from the late 30s, early 40s.
Yeah, and like also this is like the top talent of these
Yeah.
talents. So yeah, someone like that has been rise to the top. So I guess this strip right here is implying that Nemo was probably born in 1900 because
I think so, yeah.
he becomes as he touches a year, he like ages. So when he gets to like the future of 1999, he touches those, he becomes, I guess, 99 years old. But yeah, just a fun idea that in 1905 he was coming up with like what this character would look like as he gets past 1954, then then 1999, and yeah, just like a lot of fun ideas.
Yeah, the 15 one made me think, oof, that's going to be a grim time for young Nemo.
Yeah. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.